Good evening and welcome to this October 14th, 2024 meeting of the Lake Bluff Village Board of Trustees. Frankly, the only thought I have right now is what is the fire marshal going to say about what's happening right here? That's beside the point. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Cole?
Here.
Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee Freed?
Here.
Trustee Hatch?
Here.
Trustee Rappin? Here. Trustee Ryder's absent. We do have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Please stand and join me reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the consideration of the minutes of September 23rd, 2024 regular Village Board meeting. Is there a motion to approve Village Board minutes?
So moved. Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any changes, any comments on this, on these minutes? It is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
One opposed? Thank you very much. Next is our non-agenda items and visitors. A lot of visitors tonight. The village president.
We do have an on-agenda item.
Just a second. The village president and board of trustees allocates 15 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the village board of trustees on any matter not listed on the agenda. Each person addressing the village board of trustees is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. Could you please state your name and your address, please?
My name is George Russell. I'm a representative of the Lake Bluff History Museum. I don't actually live here on the planet Earth, so I can't give you my address. I just want to remind everyone in our listening audience at home that this Friday and Saturday is one of the great events in the village, the Lake Bluff History Museum Ghost Walk. We have a news flash for you. Our Friday night was almost completely sold out, all 350 tickets, but just before the meeting started, they've added 4 or 5 additional tickets to each time slot. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, you need to go to lakebluffhistory.org/events, and you can jump in on those Friday night tickets. There are some Saturday night tickets also available, but you don't want to miss this. It's this Friday, October the 18th, and Saturday, October the 19th. The time slots are from 6 p.m. To 9 p.m. The groups go out every 15 minutes, guided by a ghoul. And one last announcement, and I'm glad that the fire department is here and the police department is here, and most of the village board is here. None of the officials in the village can guarantee your safety this weekend if you do not buy a ticket and do not take the tour. You have to go out with a ghoul if you're going to be safe walking the streets this weekend. So please consider attending the Lake Bluff Ghost Walk. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Do we have anybody else willing to make a comment tonight?
Hi, my name is Margaret Morissette, and I live at 29 East Woodland Road in Lake Bluff. And our neighborhood is hoping to get an update regarding the progress of tightening up the village ordinances as they regard to the types and quantity of residential yard debris that a homeowner is allowed to store on their property outside. This would include items like chairs, rusty tables, shelving, junk debris, boxes, etc. Both unincorporated Lake County and the city of Lake Forest have tighter controls on what is allowable for junk and debris, and we are hoping ours could mirror other towns. When you have excessive debris, it can affect the surrounding neighborhood's property values. This has been an ongoing problem in the village at multiple residential properties for years. So we spoke with Sandy Hart on what steps we could take to get the process going. And she suggested that the process would be for the village administrator staff to go to the board directly to tighten up the ordinances. So over the course of the last 2 years, several neighbors near these homes have reached out to village employees on multiple occasions. In the last 6 months, we have sent 11 emails and also brought in pictures. Though they have all been very, very responsive and very nice to work with, we still aren't sure what's going on with the progress. And so that's kind of what our questions are. It seems like the gas blower regulations were finalized very quickly and went into effect. But we're not sure if there's obstacles with this specific item, or we're not aware if there's something additional we need to do as residents to get it going in the right direction. So we were hoping that we could confirm that this was brought to the village board's attention, and we would like to know what is considered to be a reasonable time frame for this. Is there a proposal of solutions, and what is the timeline of implementation of those solutions? If the administrative employees have clear and concise ordinances, then they can quickly take care of it and everyone wins. For example, the grass cutting links at properties, there's a very clear ordinance and the village can act on it quickly and then everybody's happy. But with no debris ordinances at all, with the exception of broken down machinery and cars, it seems unfair to the village staff that they have to constantly, have people come into the village hall, give complaints and show pictures. So it just seems unfair to them too. We hope we can let us know an update or how we could get next steps or who we would talk to about it and get our questions answered. So thank you.
In this particular, I'm happy to address this particular case. The village has been, the enforcement team has been working with the village prosecutor. That particular property has been taken to court. Over that matter, we're also kind of, I'd say, two-handed approach, one with the enforcement, but also working with others to try to help lift that household up to try to achieve some of the goals that we're trying to achieve. So
Okay.
I think the biggest issue with property maintenance issues is just the patience that the court system, and I know plenty of other examples in town where this takes a very long time, and judges are extremely lenient with property owners and just try to work with households. It's just a very slow journey. So
That's
I
what we
understand.
figured.
That's why I understand your frustration, but yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, that's perfect.
And I
Thank you.
have spoken to your husband, or your husband spoke to me and at length, and I did walk in front of that property, and I'm fully aware of that. And between Drew and I, we have spoken about that quite a few times already. So it is on our minds.
Great.
And the prosecutor didn't feel like the village's regulations were deficient in addressing the matter. I guess that could be true, but at some, every ordinance is different in every community. But at least our particular tool for this particular situation wasn't viewed as deficient, so.
The city of Lake Forest one lists, I forget, like 15 items, and there was at least 7 violations if you were following Lake Forest. It was very clear, boxes for 7 days or whatever. But anyway, okay, sounds like we're in good hands.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more comments in the room? Do we have anybody online wishing to make a comment?
And no one is raising their hand.
Thank you. I say we move forward. The next item is the village board sets the order of a meeting. The village president and board of trustees will entertain requests from anyone present on the order of business to be conducted during the village board meeting. And I recognize we have item 12 and 13 that I would like to put first without objection from the board.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 12. Item number 12 is a resolution honoring the public service of Fire Chief David Graff. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. And could we have Nancy also with us?
Sure.
I took notes, otherwise I cannot do that. Okay?
Wow, there's a lot of stuff there.
No. I will first start with my personal message to David. Okay? We're here tonight to celebrate your incredible career, David, and to honor your remarkable 50 years of service to our fire department, culminating in your role as our fire chief. 50 years. This is an outstanding achievement, and it's difficult to put into words the level of commitment, courage, and leadership it takes to dedicate so much of yourself and for so long, especially as a volunteer in such a challenging position. Of course, that we could mention your other contributions to the village, to our community, your service as a village trustee, your time as village president, and crowned by well-deserved 2021 Phyllis Albrecht Award. Thank you. But we're here to celebrate you today as our fire chief, the person who has given so much to our community and that has made such a change to our community. On a lighter note, I really think that David is an underachiever, but that's me. So your leadership has been completely exemplary. You're spearheaded the construction of our village safety building. Who knew that, by the way? Who knew he was the village president who made happen the building on the other side of the street? This is remarkable, okay? But to me, even more than that, you're the chief who always found joy in showing the equipment to the kids in the village. That's how my kids discovered the fire department and the police department, and how they managed to actually get behind the wheels of one of your trucks. And you're behind that, and you're smiling, and you're happy. This is amazing. For your 50 years of service have truly helped build what we call Lake Bluff today. And for that, I am, and we are forever grateful. Thank you. David, it is with deep admiration and respect that I thank you for everything you have done for our community. Now I'm going to be serious. Tonight we have a resolution honoring the service of David Graff. And that resolution is honoring the public service of Fire Chief David Graff, whereas David Graff has loyally and faithfully served the Lake Bluff Fire Department and the citizens of Lake Bluff for over 50 years. And whereas, beginning October 1974, N. David Graff has served in a variety of capacities, including firefighter, incident safety officer, assistant fire chief, and deputy fire chief, and in January of 2006, David Graff was appointed to lead the Lake Bluff Fire Department as its chief. And whereas, through the leadership of David Graff, the Lake Bluff Fire Department has provided services and programs to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the village of Lake Bluff. And whereas, David Graff has inspired scores of individuals to join and volunteer their times and talents in service of the Lake Bluff Fire Department, thereby greatly improving firefighting and public safety services to the citizens of the village of Lake Bluff and beyond. And whereas, during David Graff's time as fire chief, he was essential in securing numerous federal and local grants for the Lake Bluff Fire Departments. And whereas, Nancy and the rest of David Graff's family has graciously supported the contribution and service of David Graff to the Lake Bluff Fire Department and the village of Lake Bluff with enthusiasms and for half a century. And whereas, David Graff is a public safety professional who has demonstrated outstanding commitment to the village of Lake Bluff and its residents for 50 years, through which he has earned the respect of his peers, elevated the entire village organization, maintained a positive attitude and sense of purpose befitting a committed professional. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Lake Bluff, County of Lake, and State of Illinois that the Village of Lake Bluff hereby recognizes David Graff for his many significant contributions to the village and its residents. And such recognition and the gratitude of the Village of Lake Bluff be publicly expressed to David Graff for his service to the community, and that this resolution be incorporated in the minutes of this proceeding, and that an executed copy of a resolution be delivered to David Graff. And so while you requested that we keep your retirement low-key and we don't do anything big, we have done our best to respect your wishes and now present you with a small token of the appreciation in addition to this lovely and frame resolution you have here. And that is, David, that is for you.
Thank you. Can I open that now?
Absolutely.
Be right with you.
So that is a small version of a plaque that will be about this big, that will be put on the right side of the front door of the fire station. And it says, the David Graff Fire Station.
Wow. Holy shit. You shouldn't have done that.
It's a very small gift.
I'll take it. But forgive me. So, in giving thought to leading into tonight, I'm going to jump aside. I told that village administrator I wanted low key, no big deal. He
It's
said,
small. You see how small that is?
he said, "What would you like?" And I actually told him what I would like. I asked for the flag that flew over the building, not the whole freaking building.
Never been a good listener.
Okay, let me do this quickly. First of all, everybody that's in this room participates to some degree, I think, to the village and makes contributions and works hard and makes sacrifices, but who makes the real sacrifices? Our families. I have to recognize first Nancy for all of these many 50 years. I'm fortunate enough tonight, my son Tyler and my daughter Betsy, who came in from Colorado, my son Peter from Washington is not available tonight, but I must tell you, it feels me so good that Tyler and Peter have gone on to be volunteer firemen where they live. And I have 5 of my 10 grandchildren are here tonight. I have Emma, Ryder, Palmer, Penelope, and Pearl. Did I name you all? My message would be that we have accomplished a tremendous amount in these many years with our fire department, and I think it's only an example of what can be done with our wonderful community in the makeup of the people, such as the board, our wonderful police department, and all the boards and commissions we have. Volunteerism is what makes this town work. Yep. The fact that people are willing to contribute, to sacrifice, to work hard towards a common end goal of making a wonderful place to live is what works here. This time on the fire department is, as many people describe, a brotherhood and all that type of stuff. What it really is a wonderful, wonderful group of friends that take care of each other and have a common purpose and goal and service, okay? And while they're doing that service, the beeper goes off, you get on the truck, you ride with the other people on the truck to go and help somebody. And while you're doing that, you don't worry about, am I gonna come back? Are we gonna be successful? Because you train and you work and you depend on your teammates. That's the beauty of this group that I've been so fortunate to be a member of. I love every one of you, and I appreciate and thank you for letting me be a member of this department as long as you have. I feel wonderful about tonight. The reason I feel wonderful about tonight is I think our fire department is in wonderful condition. Thanks to the village, we have some of the best equipment you can have. We have continuous support from the village and the staff to make sure that the department is equipped to do what it needs to do. These members, you have no idea the amount of time, effort that goes into training and making sure that they're mission ready. This is an outstanding and unique group of people which I am so proud to have been a member. To all of you and to the village for letting me do this for all these many years, thank you. Okay, you guys need to sit down because here's the best. I told you we're leaving this department in great shape. You're about to get one of the best new leadership teams you could hope to have. Take it away, boss.
This is a resolution. Are there any questions I'm supposed to ask? Probably not. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
One opposed? Next on our agenda is item 13. That is a resolution approving the appointment of Greg March to the Lake Bluff as Lake Bluff Fire Chief. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Seconded.
Thank you. The Village of Lake Bluff Municipal Code establishes the position of fire chief to lead and manage the department, maintain its equipment, attend and investigate fires, examine dangerous buildings, ensures fire prevention, and serve as president of a Lake Bluff Fire Insurance Board. The fire chief is appointed by the village president upon the recommendation of a village administrator by and with the approval of a board of trustees. He or she holds office until a successor is employed. The fire chief is compensated in the same manner as all of our volunteer village firefighters, paid stipends and reimbursed for personal expenses. Village Administrator Drew Irvin recommends the appointment of Greg Marsh, a 37-year department veteran and current assistant fire chief, to the position of fire chief because of his attitude, aptitude, and experience. He has excelled in all previously held department posts, including firefighter, lieutenant, captain, and rescue diver, and with the support of Assistant Chief John Cramsey and the rest of the volunteers, is willing to take on the responsibility of overseeing the department. Are there any questions on the board? It is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Congratulations, the motion carries.
I should say a few words. First of all, about Dave, my mentor, and more importantly, my friend. He has been a leader and a teacher for all of us all across the street, and I'm not sure how many of you have ever heard him say, "Help me understand." You know you're about to get a lesson. But all seriousness, he has been a pillar at that department for so many years, particularly in our darkest time when we lost our backup plan, which was the Knollwood Fire Department. David navigated us through that tumultuous time, months and months of that, and post their closing, boosted our membership through various measures, and he should be proud of what he built. And it's up to me to continue that legacy, and I hope I'm up to it. Thank you, David. Thank you all. One last item as my first official act of chief. I'd like to promote my partner and my friend also, John Crumsey, to deputy chief. Come on up, John.
Just to say thank you, Chief Graff, Chief Willer, Chief Marsh, thank you. I appreciate this. I'm honored by it. Thank you.
Take two to cool people and leave.
We're going to continue with the agenda. If you guys want to stick around, we're going to talk about finances.
Orange report.
Hey, congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Deputy Chief.
Well done. Yes, sir, of course.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Deputy. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
He's a nice guy. That makes sense, yeah. He wasn't.
Yeah. Good nice guys.
He's just a solid.
Where y'all going? Oh. There we go.
Resuming our agenda, we would be at item number 6 for our village finance report, and that would be item 6A for the warrant report for September 24th to October 14th, 2024, and fiscal year 2025 payroll expenditures to date. Is there a motion to approve the warrants report?
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you. And as a summary, we have expenditure of village funds for payment of invoices in the amount of $1,048,773.37 for September 24th to October 14th, 2024. And we have expenditure of village funds for payment of payroll in the amount of $163,045 for September 2024, for total expenditures of $1,211,818.37. Are there any questions on this warrant report? Any comments, questions to our staff?
Nope.
Nope. And it is a roll call. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher.
Aye.
Trustee Freed.
Aye.
Trustee Hatch.
Aye.
Trustee Rappin.
Aye.
Trustee Cole.
Aye.
Thank you. Next would be our village administrator's report.
Two items. The first one is really just an informational report regarding some previous zoning relief granted by the village board back a year ago. And the permit holder, in this case, is Gary Lawrence, and his plan to have an English pub at his property just right outside the window here. It is still in the works, and he's secured many investors, but it's not at the finish line yet, and he requested a year extension, which I can approve by code administratively, but the same code requires me to notify you all. And if for some reason you saw that that's something you would not want to approve, then the board would have to take action and approve a resolution. So I'm notifying you. If you have a change of heart, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll let Mr. Lawrence know it's been approved. All right, great. Good enough.
Consensus of the board.
The next item is an information report. In front of everybody is a envelope, and in this envelope is a starter kit for the village's new recycling program. It's an orange bag program. It is being offered in our community as well as Lake Forest in the same manner. And several other communities in Lake County are doing a slightly different program, and I've invited the executive director of SWALCO, Walter Willis, to give a quick update. I'm going to promote him to panelist. He is attending remotely.
Do these go in our normal garbage can then, or is there a certain drop-off point?
There is a drop-off point at the village's Public Works recycling facility. It's, but I don't want to spoil that. Walter, can you see us and hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Clear as a bell.
All right, great. Well, that's a tough act to follow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, good evening, Village President and trustees and members of the public. My name is Walter Willis, Solid Waste Agency of Lake County, and I do want to spend a couple minutes going over what exactly the Hefty Renew Bag program is. And I do have a few quick slides we'll go through just so you guys have a good understanding. But a little bit of history here with SWALCO and the whole plastic bag and the wraps that are put around our breads and everything else. In 2006, it came to our attention when one of our landfill inspectors indicated there were a lot of plastic bags stuck up in the trees around the landfills. And that kind of got on the board's radar, and they instructed staff at the time to look into the issue. So we actually introduced legislation in 2008 that would require stores to take back plastic bags if they gave them out. That was modified, if you will, in Springfield to a study that we did in Lake County specifically. And after that study, in 2010, we wrote a report to the General Assembly. It indicated that we would like to find ways to expand the collection beyond the retail outlets that we have. That then led us in 2010 and 2011 to try to pass legislation that would require the bag manufacturers to help stand up programs in Illinois to better collect the plastic film, I'll call it, that is generated by so much of our packaging. That was not successful. And in 2018 and 2019, we actually pursued legislation with other stakeholders that would have put a fee on plastic bags. So it's a long history here. So when Hefty's Renew program, and obviously Hefty, many may not know, but Reynolds is located right in Lake Forest, or corporate headquarters. We were aware of this program, and so we started to have discussions more concretely with Hefty about the program. So I'll go through these slides really quick that kind of give you an overview of the program. First of all, you've got that plastic bag that you're looking at, and it's got a lot of good instructions on it, hopefully. But you fill it up, and in your case, you're not going to put it in your regular recycling cart. You're going to use your drop-off, which is a very successful facility that you have. And since your hauler is not LRS and you don't take your recyclables to the facility where we would be grabbing the bags out of the mixed recycling, your drop-off creates a great opportunity for you guys to engage in the program. So you will fill up your bag just like everyone else, but you'll take it to the drop-off, and then that material will be sorted and made into new plastic products. So next slide, group.
Thank you. Any comments?
More.
This is an important one, but as you start to engage in the program, we've got a lot of information that should hopefully make it fairly clear to people what all they can put in to the orange bag. But it's amazing what you can put in. Obviously, the plastic bags, the wraps around your breads, the packaging that you buy your dog and cat food in, packaging that for potato chips and chips, candy wrappers, styrofoam, a whole long list of items that can be put into that orange bag. So what we're trying to do is take our existing curbside programs and take them to the next level with the Hefty Renew program for these hard to recycle plastics. So we're not the first ones. This is out there. They've been at this for since about 2016 in Omaha was the first one. And so we're excited to start this in Illinois for the first time. And these different companies listed will be the companies that would actually sell the orange bag. So this is an opt-in program, right? It's not something that everybody has to do, but if they want to, they can buy the orange bag. And they're a little bit more expensive than regular bags, but part of that helps pay for the program costs. So this is an opt-in, a voluntary program that residents can do or they can't do. So we're trying to encourage them to do it. So what happens once we put all those items in the orange bag? We have really stressed to Hefty and Reynolds that we want what we call mechanical recycling. We don't want this to go to a fuel source. And we've been told in our program that it will go back into products, mainly lumber and different types of benches, et cetera, that we'll be able to make out of these orange contents in the orange bags. Next slide. This just kind of shows the mix. In the beginning of the program, they did bring a lot to alternative fuels, and that's not something that we want. We've got a lot of pressure from the environmental community that we don't want to be burning plastics, and we totally understand that. So next slide. They do life cycle assessments on these different environmental impacts, and all of them are positive versus landfilling. But again, we want to stick with the mechanical approach and not taking it to any type of energy recovery. So next slide. So the great thing about working with Hefty and Reynolds is they've got a whole marketing team that's dedicated to this. And we've got a lot of different content that we're going to be working with the village on so that your residents understand the program, why we're doing it and how to do it, and then where to take the material. And it will be totally transparent moving forward on how much we're collecting and what's happening to the material. This is not a pilot. This is a program that we're committed to for the long term. So we will be continuing to work with the village, make sure we have really good signage out at your drop off. And then obviously the village has a very sophisticated manner, knows how to interact with its residents. And, you know, we're already getting a pretty good start with the program so far. So a lot of content to come. These are just some statistics. It takes you about 20 to 25 days to fill one of the orange bags. I've done it myself. Plastic is very light, so it's about 2 pounds a bag. And typically, we'll see about 10 to 15% of people participate. We hope to have much higher success than that. This is just some demographics. As marketing people, they do like to study who participates in the program. And as you can see, it's a pretty wide range as far as income and age. And so we're expecting and hoping that all residents will try to take advantage of this program. Collection's the key. In your case, it's not going into the recycling cart. It will be going to your drop off. And the fact that you have such a well-known and popular drop-off facility.
Prolifically utilized.
Yes, I think it's going to be great. And you and Lake Forest are both taking the same approach with the drop-off, and I think it's going to work really well myself. So next slide. Responsibility and transparency. So not all the recycling plants are able to grab the orange bags off the line when it comes to the facility. And we're lucky that LRS at their Northbrook facility will be able to do that. And so we're going to be very transparent. We're going to have a lot of data. We're going to educate people about this program. And we're going to make sure that we continue to drive these materials out of the landfill. Next slide. I guess that's it in a nutshell. I think with the village staff and Hefty, we've already been spending several months kind of bringing people up to speed, getting the starter kits out there, and you know, SWALCO is here to continue to help the success of this program. Now, there are some concerns from the environmental community, and concern that SWALCO is helping to perpetuate the use of plastics by standing up programs, supporting programs like this. But the truth of the matter is 4% of what we put in our landfill, about 750,000 tons a year, is plastic film or wraps like this. So it's there. We are totally on board with getting rid of single-use plastics like straws and drink stirrers and things like that nature. And but as far as some of the other packaging that we see when you go to the grocery store and you start to key yourself into what you can put in the orange bag, it's amazing how much is out there that you'll be able to divert through the orange bag program. And we have committed to the environmental community that this material will not be used for fuel. It will be made into new products. So I just wanted you to be aware of the concerns from the environmental community. But I can tell you this program is probably one of the more excited I've seen the SWALCO members in a long time for a program like this. And obviously your support and communication is going to be key to making it successful in Lake Bluff. So I'll take any questions. I know you got a long meeting tonight, so hopefully not too long.
Questions on the board?
I'll ask a few questions in sequence. So where does somebody get the yellow or the orange bags? Where do they store it when they're at home? And is there going to be a designated spot at the recycling center for this?
So as far as where do you get the bags? I can get that information to Drew and his staff.
Lauren can answer that for us.
All right, Lauren.
So they're already,
Yeah.
they're in most of the Jewel,
Yep.
Targets, Menards, et cetera. So we will definitely make sure your residents know the closest place to get those.
Yeah.
Yes, we do know that they are being sold at the Lake Bluff Target. Currently, they're sold out, but they are available from there, either online or in store. In terms of where you can drop them off, Public Works has set up signs leading all residents to where to drop them off there.
It's right by the electronics donation. No, where's it, Jake?
Not by the electronics, by the other recycling.
Okay.
So where the bottles and cans, right next to it, there's the only one that's blue. And I have signs on either side of this, is orange bag program.
Yeah. Any bags in there yet?
No, as of 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
Where do people?
Oh,
go ahead.
Several weeks. Well, we'll see them probably, Jake, in another couple of weeks when people start to fill up their bags.
Where do people normally store these in their house, right? Like, nobody wants another garbage bin in their
I
house.
assume in the drawer right next to your other plastic bags, or if you have a shelf somewhere else where you've got the bigger wheel of trash bags. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that people will
Yeah,
have to
the receptacle.
determine on their own, but it is a regular 13-gallon size bag, so you can put it next to your recycling cart, in your pantry, if you will. That's where I keep mine, and just hanging on the back of the door if you want.
Good. And just, nobody cares about my 2 cents, but I'll throw it in there. I'd feel a lot better if it said 100% goes towards renewable products as opposed to, like there was some disclaimer on this little thing, but I'll call Hefty about that.
Yeah, we're totally on board with you on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the orange bag itself recyclable?
Yes, it is. It's actually a little bit thicker as well, so it can withstand, even in your program where they put it into a container, I think you have a 6-yard kind of commercial container. Yeah. It's still going to get put into a truck and have to withstand that and go to the facility and withstand that. So they've proven through this program's been around for nearly 8 years that they put a lot of thought into the bag, and they make it orange for a reason, and they make it more expensive simply because they are paying for these facilities to collect them, put them into a baler and condense them, and then put them on a truck, and then Reynolds takes the material from there and makes new products with it. So.
What are we doing? I don't know if this is a question for you, Mr. Willis, or if it's for all of us, but what is our plan to make sure people know about the program?
Yeah. So we started information, like I said, late last month. This is October 1 start date. We had the Hefty folks, actually some Hefty staff members, and Walter came to the village's Sustainability and Community Enhancement Committee and started the information sharing, and then it's been in the e-newsletter. Mm-hmm. We're going to use all the village's communication channels. I don't know how many, we probably went close to through 10 of these today with residents coming wanting their starter kits. Yeah. Reynolds wanted to kind of, like we said, we'll have we talked about having our SEC members deliver them door to door. They were eager to do that, but Reynolds was like, no, we're gonna dribble out the materials, and so we'll give you a stash of them. You can give them for people showing up, but it was kind of a revolving door this morning, people coming through, getting them.
Great.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mentioned, the drop-off facility being a prolific, used place. People are going to use this, and, we talked about, I think, Groot as their MRF right, correct me if I'm wrong, Walter, is not ready for this yet.
Correct.
And I think they'll get there at some point, and then we'll have the choice of keeping a drop-off and, having the convenience of throwing it in your recycling cart. The trade-off I've heard is people say, my recycling cart's already full. I don't want to give up that space, so I think actually, once a month, people make trips to the village's recycling facility more than once a month. So I think it'll be fine, and we'll get a lot of use. Walter, what did they say that it was only like in their other locations around the country that drop-off facilities were like sub 5% participation? I think they said that. I think we'll blow that out of the water. So
Yeah, they tend to prefer the curbside option, but I think they're flexible, and between, your drop off and Lake Forest, it's amazing what you guys do with your drop offs, and I think it's great. And your residents obviously like to go there, and they'll see that new container and go, hey, what's going on there? And then we also, with Hefty and Reynolds, we've got content for the next several months that we will start to share with Drew and his staff, and you have to customize it for your drop-off program. But we're going to continue to push on this and let people know about this program because, we're right in their backyard, and we're Swalco, so we like to do things, the best in the state. So.
I have one more question. What happens to an orange bag if it is mixed with stuff that isn't supposed to go in the bag? Like I see the bottom line that says, no food or no batteries. Does the whole bag get trashed then, or how do we do
No.
it? Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, sorry. They do audits every other year, and they take a random sample of the orange bags, and they sort them, and the contamination is less than 10%. To put that in comparison, our recycling cart, we're contaminating about 15 to 20% rate. So, but no, the entire bag would not be tossed. So these bags go to a secondary processing facility where they are opened and they are sorted. So they are able to, get the contaminants out there. But for the most part, when you have programs like this where people opt in, those types of people are going to really do their homework and understand the program probably more than if they were forced to do it. And so you kind of have self-selection bias to a certain degree on people following the rules a little bit better.
Yep. I've seen the effect of those type of programs in Europe, where this is not 2 recycling, but this is 5 bins just for recycling, and that would be brown bottles, green bottles, clear bottles. And if ever I put the wrong color of bottle into the wrong, my sister will kill me. Okay. And so no, this is peer pressure, and this is just being good toward recycling. So I think it's a great initiative. So thank you very much for getting that started.
Thank you, and the village board and staff. We're looking to knock this out of the park as we start to, share some of the data and the findings.
Thank you. I would be very curious to hear the data as we move forward with this program in the next few months, in a year from now. It would be great to have figures to see how we fare, and if we can help the program by having more marketing material to the community.
Thank you, President, and I'm sure with that enthusiasm, we're going to do really well on Lake Bluff.
Thank you. Any more comments to Walter?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And that's my report. I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Thank you. I do not see questions to Drew. Moving forward with our village attorney's report, and tonight we have Courtney Willits with us.
No report.
Thank you, Courtney. Next is my report, and I do not have a report either. This is followed by our consent agenda, and that would be item 10, that is the acceptance of a correspondence. And please note that all correspondence was delivered to the Village Board of Trustees in the informational report on September 27 and October 4th, 2024. And the second item would be a second reading of an ordinance granting Rio Development Plan approval for the Lake Bluff Yacht Club at 503 Sunrise Avenue. Is there a request to remove any of these items from the consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a second from Taryn. Is there any discussion on any of these items?
No.
Hearing none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fried?
Aye.
Trustee Hatch?
Aye.
Trustee Rappin?
Aye.
Trustee Cole?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher? Motion carries.
Thank you. Scott, congratulations. Lake Bluff Yacht Club, full speed ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Moving forward with our other business, and that would be 14. Our trustees' reports. Do any trustees wish to make a report tonight?
Nope.
Okay. And do we have an executive session
No,
tonight?
sir.
All right. And that would be item 16, our adjournment. And I would be pleased to entertain a motion to this.
So moved.
Mary's ready.
So moved.
And we're adjourned. Oh, this is
Voice vote.
voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
This is a good night.
One of the best nights.